Hey guys, it's me, Generic MC here to tell you that I am the one who's going to be editing this Agravity Boys episode and not Daughter Drock. Could you believe that? Please don't leave. I promise I'm a good editor, man. But anyway, this episode was recorded right after our first Vindy episode. So when you hear us talking about like other projects that we were gonna do in the future, we just ended up not doing it because we're lazy pieces of shit who don't follow up on plans that we set up in the future, as you can clearly see. So just wanted to tell you guys that. And also our last seasonal is coming out. When? Don't worry about that. On with the episode.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so let's just get right into Agravity Boys. I already pre-recorded the intro for this, so I don't get interrupted. So yeah, let's just get into it.
Coward.
What the fuck is this? We're back with Vindy. We're definitely not recording this right after the last episode.
No, it's been like 2
every
years.
day. You've been
It's been 3 decades. You know, there was a war. You know, World War 80.
Oh,
you know what I mean? War on rats. And Vindy was.
There's now 42 seasons of Paradise PD.
Vindy, how does it feel to be the survivor of the war on
Of the
rats?
rat war? I missed my rat friends, my rat pack, as I would say.
Yeah, you miss Remy. You miss your boy Remy.
Yeah.
Vindy's got a rat hood.
My cousin Remy and his father, my uncle Chuck E. Cheese, they're both gone from me.
Okay, let's get into Agravity Boys. Let's talk about Agravity Boys. Let's talk about it. Wait, first of all, I want to address Vindy, okay? So
Yes.
I want to talk about Vindy a little bit. So Vindy, this man, makes Weekly Shonen Jump chapter reviews and fucking yells about Agravity Boys for like half a year, right? And then I invite him on this episode. I'm like, oh, he's gonna do a funny yell. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be content. And then on his stream, I'm watching his stream, and this man says, I don't even hate Agravity Boys that much.
Anymore? No. The keyword was anymore.
Okay.
So, because when I was reading the chapter reviews, Gravity Boys was like the worst thing in Jump. Like it was so bad. It's still really bad. Part of the problem is I would not call it the worst thing in Jump. If you would call it the worst thing in Jump, you are not reading me in Roboco.
What? Are you on drugs? Are you?
Are you?
What are you smoking? How's
At least Gravity Boys has a cute character.
No.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. We'll talk about that.
Whenever Vindy's smoking, he probably smoked it all because he's on an episode of the Weeb Club too.
In 2
Vindy does
chapters,
smoke
me and
weed.
Roboco made me laugh like, I don't know, 3 times maybe. There are a few genuinely funny gags, I think. This has nothing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Look,
Vindy,
I will tell you. We'll
fucking-
talk about it. I will tell you the episode. There was a chapter of Gravity Boys that made me go from hating it to being like, it's whatever. Because there's one actually funny chapter that I really like, and everything else, is terrible. Is some of the worst thing I've ever read.
Okay,
But
what chapter is that?
Who wants to wait? Don't talk about anything yet. Who wants to introduce Gravity Boys?
Oh, right. So,
Let Vindy.
okay, you go for it, Vindy.
Yeah, introduce
You
the
want me
plot
to-
basically.
Okay, so there are 4 guys, 3 normal guys and 1 cute guy, and they're on a ship to look for a place for humanity to land, and then Earth gets destroyed and they land on a planet, and they're supposed to be the only humans left, and it's supposed to just be them trying to find something to do and to repopulate humanity and to exist on this world. But as we'll get into, things very quickly go away from what it's supposed to be. It very quickly betrays its initial themes.
Yeah.
I want to fuck
Yeah.
Chris. I want to
Continuously
fuck the shit
worse.
out of Chris.
I think we all do, and then it just gets
Dang.
bad, and then it gets
I wanna
okay,
fuck
and then
Chris.
right now
He
it's
has
actually really
whitish,
bad.
whitish grayish hair. That's really hot. Karu
I
has
want
that.
to fuck the
If
shit
you're gonna
out
tell
of
me
Chris,
silver
dude.
hair is not
I
hot, you're just
want
lying.
to
Yeah,
do
you
things
must be
that will
fucking
put me on a
lying.
sexual register offender list to Chris.
Okay. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna say a couple positives about this before I shit on this. The art and the character designs, very good, very good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh yeah, they look cool.
Well, for the
It made me have high hopes for
Okay,
it.
my favorite.
Well,
my favorite
especially
character designs-
like especially the art whenever they're at that place where like a bunch of girls and where the
The
girls
art's really good. Yeah, no, the art's great in this.
really good.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
beautiful.
It's really good.
Something I really like about the series is its sense of architecture. Like there's a shot that's I think in chapter 17 or 18 that's basically almost exactly like the St. Basil's Cathedral, which is an architectural masterpiece and absolutely gorgeous to look at. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there was that great two-page spread of like the futuristic city when they first arrived there. I was like, wow, very nice, very nice. Also, I like the character designs specifically of Chris, that one devil guy who was in prison. I really like his design, and the girl who fucking Gerald was.
Oh, the hot fox girl, yes sir.
Okay, well, so
She
yeah,
was
I like
alright.
that. There's some okay chapters here and
Yu Yu
there.
Hakusho?
Yeah,
I mean,
There's some okay
the show
chapters.
can here's the thing, the show like can be funny and stuff, but most of the time it's just like painfully like just like not funny and just like ugh.
yeah, it pisses me off because there's something there, but they just never get to that potential.
It's like that show
Exactly.
Becker. You know Becker?
Okay, here's what makes me the most mad about this. Okay, there's so many opportunities the show has to become good, and it wastes fucking all of them, and I hate it. Like,
Yeah,
for example,
that's
there-
ew.
Something that
okay.
I think the show or the manga doesn't do very well is balancing what it's supposed to be with the comedy. So I was speaking in an earlier episode about Paradise PD. I briefly mentioned Baka Test and Kaguya-sama as series that managed to successfully blend serious themes with their comedy. This series has its fair share of serious moments where it wants you to empathize with its characters, and it fucking fails miserably. There's an example where basically whoever, I guess it's a god of some kind. I don't fucking know.
Higher being.
But it's
Yeah.
a higher being of some kind. It sends them a robot girl so that they can mess around with, and they decide to put the girl out of her misery and send her back to where she's from.
Yeah, send her
And this
to her
is-
parents.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a heartwarming and powerful moment, but the problem is that it doesn't really fit with anything else in the series. And this is sort of its. But yeah,
It went
basically
too fast. Yeah.
the series doesn't have any idea what kind of tone it wants to do. Another issue with the series is the fact that exposition is extremely poorly done. This is especially apparent in the
I
opening
have a comment on
chapters. It's
I have a
okay. Go
comment
for
on
it, Abe. Go for it, Abe.
Exposition is done via cutaway gags.
It's Family Guy.
Oh, well, okay, wait.
Like that's
one
how
of
they
the
watch
worst-
back. It kind of reminds me
Especially
of
with
like
the first chapters, the
exposition
first
chapters is the one right after they reveal the time machine thing, and then it's just a whole chapter of them talking about random nonsense about the time machine, and it's so fucking boring, and there's so much text, and it doesn't need to be there, and it's just wasting fucking panel space for no reason. Fuck me.
Yeah, this manga's full of boring moments.
Yeah, I don't know what chapter this is, but I think it's like it was whenever like Chris was like doing something, and then they didn't want Chris to do it, and then they start to explain like Chris's like backstory or something like that, or like why, and they start explaining the joke. I think from what
I don't know.
And the joke went
Also-
on for too long. It stopped
Man.
being funny.
You
They
guys
overdo
remember
jokes. Like,
when in the first chapter everyone thought it was gonna be like a gender bender, like kind of fucking comedy, but also with like etchy elements and shit like that, because they had like the gender fucking reversing potion, and then they literally throw that away.
I don't know why they did that. They could have revived
they have
humanity.
a bunch of chapters where they're just doing random stuff, and it all doesn't matter in the end.
I
And
actually
it makes me feel like I just wasted my fucking
It could have
time.
been better. Like if it
So
was just like, yeah.
So something I do want to point out is, for example, we all agree that Chris is the best thing about this series, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so the thing with Chris though is not every joke around Chris is well done, and sort of when I was reading it, I was reminded of Kenji in a way. For anyone who doesn't know, that's the author behind Baka Test, and Grand Blue. And the thing with Kenji, in a way, he's really good at combining serious themes with hilarious characters. But the thing with Chris is that he reminded me a lot of Hideyoshi from Bakatest, except that Hideyoshi was actually funny.
There's this one joke around Chris that I despise with all my heart. So, in somewhere like 10 chapters in, a bunch of Russians show up who literally do nothing and they're fucking useless. And Grislow, who's the leader of the fucking Russians, they have this gag where he doesn't know that Chris is a guy and he thinks it's a girl. And this gag should have been over, I don't know, one chapter maybe.
Or
This
2
gag
chapters.
Keeps going for like 15. It's still going to this day. He hasn't found out that it's a boy. And it feels like when the author, like, this is a weekly series, and when the author's like, oh, I don't know what the fuck to write about this week, I'm just gonna use this same gag. Like, this is like his escape in case he doesn't know what the fuck to come up with that week.
Yeah, that's the thing. It takes its jokes and it stretches them out for way too long. So even if you did find the joke that they made funny, you won't, because they'll just keep on stretching it out for so fucking long.
So
it's hard.
So another thing I want to say is potty humor. So there's a running gag involving a character essentially wanting to take a piss or wanting to take a shit. And I'm not necessarily against potty humor, but this also fits into a problem that as other people.
Your audio is really fucked.
Your audio is fucking up. Fucked. Jesus Christ. This is going to be torture.
Vindy, say your thing. Vindy was going to say something fucking just rambling about fucking craft store, fucking monologue, guys, I understand the comedy itself, guys. I'm so fucking deep and smart. Comedy is like, it's like a fucking science, and fucking this manga did it well.
Imagine thinking comedy can be analyzed and taken just
I was gonna say, I love caring about comedy, but like, okay, so here's my thing.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that, like, I agree with what Generic MC said, that they stretch their jokes out way too long. That's why I think the best joke and, like, the best chapter is the one where Chris became an e-girl. Because they end the e-girl joke at the end of the one chapter, right? It was, haha, Chris funny girl. Good. Well, I'm getting to it. They go, haha, Chris funny girl streamer, haha, and then Chris retires. And so now he, like, yeah, there are times where people remember Chris as being this girl streamer, being this e-girl, but it never becomes a thing where an entire chapter is revolved around that. It's at most half a page, 2 panels. It's brought up as a gag, right? But it's never like the center joke in a chapter again. I think that's kind of well handled.
Okay, so a thing with running gags is that you, even when a joke is repeating, you have to add something new. If you're not adding something new, then you're losing the audience.
Yeah, you have to like restructure it. You know,
you have to make it like, don't make the joke the same every time. Try to kind of work it in a way to kind of have, a different meaning, or like the same punchline, but like a different like delivery. Like what you said in like the last podcast, last Paradise PD podcast.
Oh, kind of like me and Roboco, which Vindy says is the worst thing in Jump, but it does that, and Agravity Boys does not do that with like refining its gags every single time the gag happens. But still, fuck Agravity Boys. I hate this manga. What else was I gonna say? I have a bunch of notes. One of you fucking say something. I don't have anything to say right now.
Chris is hot.
Vindy. Oh, Chris is hot. Yeah,
Chris is hot. Chris is hot.
Graphics had things to say. Let him go.
Okay.
All right. So this sort of reminded me of Nanbaka in the way that there's like a 4 bros kind of squad thing, and it's like, oh, what are they gonna get up to kind of thing. And Nanbaka's way better. Like, I don't know, just something about Agravity Boys just kind of like felt sort of bland, and I don't really know what it was. But like with Nanbaka, it's like each of them, it's like Sushi said, there's more like depth to it, and there's like stuff behind it, and like it can get serious at times, and like Gravity Boys tried being serious once and it failed, and that's basically it. It's just a Nanbaka recommendation.
Speaking about recommendations and all that stuff, I'm thinking about like what I thought about speaking about what I thought it was related to. Fuck. Speaking about
can you fucking just speak about something like at all? I don't even
here's the thing. Whenever I was reading it, you related it to
I know
that Kage Pro.
Wait, Vindy, I just called it Vindy.
what I related to it, what I thought was like another show that did, like these people trying to survive in this, another world or something like that, or like the same, or like trying to survive in this place, trying to survive in this place and all that stuff. I think something that does it better is Dr. Stone, because Dr. Stone does have, its elements of comedy and stuff, but it also really focuses on, trying to survive and try to rebuild this planet from the ground up, which I think Gravity Boys
I don't think
like.
that's comparable in like any way at all because it's
I
going for a
think-
completely different thing. But honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I think this show, I keep calling it a show. This manga could have been good if it was like just because the author is genuinely like good. There's some action panels that are really well done. I think if this was a space action adventure thing instead of a comedy, because the author's not funny, but if it was a space action adventure, it could have been like one of the better series in Jump, to be honest.
The character designs are also phenomenal for action for an action series. You have Saga, who looks like a great Shonen character. Fucking Bobble would be a great kind of enforcer type guy in like the squad. Like you have great designs for a kind of more of a shonen battle series, and the art is already phenomenal for something like that. So I don't know why he decided to make a gag series when his art, I would say, is more tailored to an adventure series.
Yeah. So another thing, speaking of it being a space adventure, while reading Gravity Boys, I was actually reminded of the Irresponsible Captain Tyler, which is a fairly popular space comedy from the 90s. And the thing with Irresponsible Captain Tyler is it doesn't take itself 100% as a comedy, but there's always a level of ambiguity because you never know if Tyler is actually being retarded on purpose or he's just genuinely stupid. And that's a big part of a dynamic behind every joke in that series. Here, there is no such dynamic. The characters are more or less exactly what you see them as. When someone says, "Oh, I want to shove broccoli down someone's butt," it's exactly that. There is nothing else to it. There is nothing.
Speaking of shoving broccoli,
What?
Yeah, you
I
can go
guess the
now.
leader's gone.
Just go ahead.
It's my time to shine.
Hey,
It's Vindy's time to shine. Vindy, make another good point about this manga.
No, I want to hear what Mega Graphics and Ape have to say. They haven't talked in a while.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll go. One thing that I liked at the beginning, at least, is the idea of the higher being. I like the idea of like just normal people being friends with like a god type character. But now in Jump we have Magu-chan, which is much better. So
because he writes in silly, funny diary.
Exactly.
Yo,
great.
Magu-chan actually Kino.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
Good series.
I mean, another series you can compare this to is Space Dandy, which is way more unpredictable and way funnier, and also actually uses its setting and goes with it somewhere cool.
Yeah. I remember
Okay.
Space Dandy.
Dot, what were you gonna say before you glitched out, buddy?
Well, okay.
I'll go
Let's go
after
through.
you.
I'll go through a couple chapters because most of this manga is terrible, but there's a couple chapters that were like decent. So Chris streamer chapter, obviously. There's one where they did like a quiz about like Gerald, and I thought that was decently funny, but I didn't like it. Wasn't the execution kind of wasn't there for me. I liked the one where they were like picking up girls, in the
On our
alien
last
planet.
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was okay.
Yeah.
And probably my second favorite chapter after the streamer Chris one was the one where there was like a fake higher being, and he showed up, and then the gag at the end, where there was like the guy with the square. that was a genuinely like funny chapter. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn.
Go
My
for it.
turn. So I have two comparisons. Nothing happens in this series. It's just sort of wacky sitcom life. So now it's forever equated in my brain as like space Seinfeld.
Oh, don't compare it to Seinfeld.
Yeah,
dude.
Or like Friends or whatever. Yeah, I guess Friends would be more appropriate.
I'll
wacky
remember you.
Big Gravity Friends. That was actually the original title for this.
Was it actually?
No, I'm
Really?
fucking with you.
No.
Oh.
Gaslighting you.
I don't know. I didn't do research. To be fair, I'm not prepared.
The only thing I knew about the series before reading it, because unlike most people here, minus Vindy, I actually did read like 13 or 14 chapters before.
I did too.
Same.
I read this from chapter 1.
Okay,
Yes.
so
every week.
I did marathon the first dozen or so chapters before this episode. So the only thing I knew about the series was that it was at the bottom of Shonen Jump rankings, and now that I've read it, yeah,
Oh, no.
I
can see
can
why.
guess. I can see exactly why.
I was
But
so
I-
excited for it
Did the
too.
man just bring up TOC unironically? Oh no, that's kind of
Oh.
crazy.
I had another
Very
comparison
cringe.
to make. There's
Oh, yeah?
so much plot convenience in this series. I have a note written here somewhere. Let me find it real quick.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a lot.
Oh yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot.
no.
Yeah, 'cause there's nothing wrong with plot conveniences in the show, but like
Yeah,
there's
no,
so
but
much, and like it feels fake. It doesn't feel genuine.
I think it's supposed
Right.
to be a gag, but it's not done
Yeah.
well. Because I think like every time it happens, it's supposed to be like, oh look, the thing we needed's right there, haha. But it never actually
Yeah.
is like.
That's kind of an Gravity Boys moment.
Another thing
Whenever-
with the show.
Oh fuck!
Go
I
for
just
it,
called
Nate.
it Gravity Boys. I meant to say Paradise PD moment, but yeah. It's
Go for it.
I mean, what's the difference? Ooh.
This is a Gravity Falls moment.
whenever
No.
like plot would progress, quote unquote plot in Paradise PD, I would make this exact same comment. Oh, it's like we got the story cutscene in Yakuza. Whenever things happen in A Gravity Boys, it's like you skip the plot cutscene in Yakuza just to like talk to the strippers or something. Also, my note for chapter 9: some real Johnny Test levels of convenient.
So something I do want to say is that another thing that clashes is that the manga's presentation is inconsistent. It has gorgeous artwork, but it doesn't fully take advantage of that, and it has a lot of text. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the thing with having comedy manga with a lot of text is you better have a lot of substance. My favorite ongoing manga is Kaguya-sama, for example. But the thing with Kaguya-sama is even if you don't find the series funny, there's a lot of substance to the character interactions. And yes, Kaguya-sama is Kino.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
there's a lot of fucking great character development and great character moments that have happened throughout Kaguya that Gravity Boys does. And to be fair, in that same way, I think Kaguya doesn't really start getting into that until like the 40s chapter wise. But I think you can still tell that it's there.
I mean,
Right.
you can tell from like the fucking when Chica plays the game and then she talks about how she's alienated from everyone, for example, or
Right.
hints that Kaguya's upbringing is extremely sheltered. But the thing with comedy that's text heavy is you have to have something other than the comedy that builds up the series. Kage Pro, is there something you want to say?
There's something she wants to type.
Okay, well,
Okay.
anyway, one chapter that made me genuinely fucking furious. I have this written in all caps in my notes. So Monica, the girl that Gerald catfishes,
God.
there's a
God.
chapter. There's a chapter that ends with "Let's take a bath together," and then her showing her
Ooh.
big bazonker. And in the next chapter, there's no fucking fan service.
Shame.
Yeah, there's more fan service in the chapter before the one that's supposed to be a fan service chapter than the actual. Which, you know what? I guess it wants to subvert expectations, but
Oh, it's
don't
Star
subvert
Wars.
expectations with things I care about.
Construction? That's pretty Kino.
We're gonna read Kage Pro's message out so that it could be on the episode.
Okay.
Yeah, read it.
I'll read it. I'm all glitchy. Kaguya-sama Kino. It loves experimenting with its jokes and going about things in so many different ways. Mega Kino.
That's not how she
I-
talks.
Yeah,
That's
you
how she
sexist.
That's too energetic. That's too energetic. She's not that peppy.
Okay,
I
well,
tried.
anyway,
I tried.
also there
Very
was-
sad.
Okay, so in one of the recent chapters, it showed all of them like passed out and they looked like they were dead. And then the text
I
said
thought they were.
to quell your worries, they all lived. And I was enraged because I was like, they're finally dead. And then it's like, fuck.
We follow the other ship now.
To quell your worries that they lived, don't worry. You were worried for a good reason. They're alive.
Oh, no. Also, yeah. I think
That'd be funnier.
I think I was trying to say this when I was glitching out.
I can-
Or maybe I already said it and I have dementia. But
You probably do.
yeah, this latest flashback arc is probably the worst the series has ever been. Like it's just
the broccoli?
it's so actively unfunny and pointless, and just it doesn't turn anything. Like, oh, this is how they all met. Who asked? Like, who fucking cares?
Nobody
Oh,
cares.
they're
Baba
shoving
is
fucking
behind
broccoli.
everything.
They're shoving broccoli up each other's asses. Okay, that's lit, I guess. Like, thanks. Okay.
Speaking of flashbacks, like there's times in the manga where like there's a flashback happening, but I never know where it ended because like the panels. Like, what? Yeah,
they look the same. There's no time
Yeah.
progression.
Oh yeah, they don't do like
That was
fucking black
confusing.
borders for some reason. I don't know.
Dummy. Alright, is that it?
Does anyone have anything else to say?
Yeah,
Or
I
we
actually
should
had a
final
point I wanted to make that I think it kind of is a culmination of what we've been saying this whole time, which is like, you know, Gravity Boys is the series where everyone has different things they're comparing it to, and I think that's because throughout the course of the series, there's so many different routes it could have taken to become good, right? At the beginning, it could have become this weird romantic comedy with Chris being gender bent and not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I remember I was talking about my Jump reviews. I thought at a point it was going to turn into like this kind of Star Trek-ish series where every chapter there's like a new kind of interesting scientific idea or whatever idea, like ethical quarrel that they have to solve that they do by the end, right? And, you know, then it would kind of be funny, but it'd have this interesting kind of moral dilemma every episode. Then it was like, oh, maybe it's going to become like this interesting series with these two rival people coming down, or it's going to be this interesting space action series. And like time and time again, it opens up these avenues to take these interesting like plots and move somewhere better than what it is, which is just stale and not interesting. And every time it just shoots itself in the foot and decides to keep doing what it's doing, which isn't good at all.
True.
It got like a huge planet to kind of explore and kind of make a lot of character kind of world building with. It has a planet there, and there are some interesting stuff, like how, like, you know, the higher being said like there's a time machine, and like, you know,
Like,
and the place you're in, you know, it's the, you know, and the stuff,
like,
all you need
oh
is
God.
in there.
You know.
poor Drock, we bully him too
I
much.
love
Well,
you.
no,
That editing,
we don't
man,
bully, we should
it's gotten to
bully
you.
generic MC more instead of Drock. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though we don't bully Drock at all, but we should bully generic MC instead. Okay, basically,
Aw.
should I do final thoughts?
Well, yeah, one
Oh,
thing to say.
Megagraph said something to say. Yeah, Megagraph.
So
And me after.
the time machine.
Oh God.
What's going on with that? They mentioned, oh yeah, we need the time machine. That's it.
Rocky
Hopefully,
forgot.
when the manga gets
Probably, yeah.
Not having pointless
God.
chapters when they're supposed to be making
Wait.
a time machine.
I remember when we
when the manga gets axed, then this is like their last resort. Like, oh
Yeah,
if this gets
I remember
axed, we can,
thinking
like,
that, oh
finish it
shit, the
real
manga's
quick.
gonna get axed when that's to go into their final arc or whatever, but it's still
But
going.
no, we're doing like shoving broccoli up each other's asses.
Yes,
because
sir.
Lamau, hilarious. Okay, Abe, what you want to say?
Funny.
I have a good final segment. Why don't we just talk about like hopes for the manga to end this on?
Hopes. Are there any
Oh,
hopes
yeah.
for fucking
I don't know.
Gravity Boys?
I hope it gets canned. I know that's the
Exactly.
I hope it
Where do
gets
you hope
axed.
it'll go? Do you hope it'll get canceled? Where do you want it to go next?
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you.
Cancelled.
Yeah.
Cancelled, please.
Yeah, I don't think this
There's-
show is getting anywhere. I think it should get canceled.
There's so much better shit in Jump right now. Okay, I'm just gonna go through in case you're maybe not reading a lot of Jump series right now. Wait, let me pull this
There
up.
is-
Just a
I
couple of.
if you're
I
like
can
me
give
and
it-
don't
I can
read
give a few
manga.
examples. I can give a few
Almost
examples.
everything in the
off my
magazine.
head.
Yeah.
Okay, One
So-
Piece, fucking Time Paradox Ghost Rider, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, Black Clover,
Act Age.
Act
Act
Age, fucking no, not Bone Collection. Bone Collection is like made. Chainsaw Man, Doctor Stone, Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin, Magu-chan, fucking Mashal, which is a bit weird right now, but it's still good. Me and Roboco is not great, but it's better than this shit. Mission Yozakura Family, fucking Mitama, Mori King's terrible, don't read Mori King. Undead Unluck, yeah. Read any of those.
So basically, all of them. Yeah.
Except We Never Learn, and fucking Mori King and this.
If we
Read everything.
never
I'm
learn,
so glad I
if
finally
we
know
never-
what Bokuben is.
if we never learn, actually settled on one girl, we would also say that it's better than a Gravity Boys.
Yeah.
But out of principle, we have.
If it was
Yeah.
written like a real series, then yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
But
It
it's not
wasn't
written
a
like a real
VN.
character.
Spend your time with something else, like Paradise PD. That's worth your time.
No, I think Gravity Boys is better than Paradise PD.
Yeah,
that's
at
better.
least
Gravity Boys
Gravity
is
Boys
better.
has one
It's not even
character I
close.
find
Okay.
attractive.
Yeah.
Sure.
Everyone else
Gravity
is
Boys-
It has,
ugly.
it has
Okay, here's the
fucking a Gravity Boys is better than Paradise PD for having Chris and Monica alone. Like those
Yeah.
two characters, I lost. Okay.
I don't know. I like Joel from Vine Sauce. Fucking
Monica's
Volk.
alright.
Volk is cool.
Chris was the only thing that
Final thoughts. Oh no.
I was gonna say one thing about the hopes. I actually hope, even if this does get canceled, I really want to see this manga could do something else. I know we've already mentioned a bunch. I think the art is great. I like the character designs. I want to see them try a completely different style of series and really make it work, because I think their art is so good. I want to see them continue.
Like,
I
it
have
could
an
be
idea
good
off that.
if, for example, it just went like into a full-on ecchi series, because there's that moment where like, oh, we're gonna go into red light district in the fucking space, whatever. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be like space Ishizoku reviewers, but like more ecchi and not like
I'd like
trying
that.
to be funny. That would be like
I'm
a
horny
much
for
better
that.
direction for this, and I'll be like, yo, kind of kino.
But my
Anyway,
my
final
thought for
thoughts?
where it'd go
Oh yeah.
in a different direction. What if it just became a fucking horror manga, just straight out of nowhere? You just find
That'd
one
be
of, the,
funny.
one of the people
Just fucking
fucking, like,
anything.
crucified or something, and their organs are spilled out. What if?
That's a bit of an Abe serial killer fucking moment.
Yeah.
Damn,
Oh,
Abe,
sure.
Abe, do you need the therapeutic theater? Do you need the therapeutic
podcast.
Vindy? T-posing Vindy?
Yes.
I'm the least threatening person on this
T-posing
podcast.
rat. Hang on.
That saved lives.
Final thoughts.
He's gonna
final
get
thoughts.
doxxed by Sky,
Final thoughts.
whatever.
Final thought. Oh, final thoughts. It's bad. 3 out of 10. Abe.
It's mid, I think is the term. I don't regret that I've spent time reading this, but I don't feel happy that I did either.
I do. What would you give it?
I'd give it a... What was the rating I gave Kickassia? 5? Yeah, I'd give it a 5.
Jesus.
God damn.
Yes.
Serial
Oh my
killer
God.
man. Yeah. We have to redo that episode. We have to redo that
No,
episode.
we're not reading an episode.
Oh,
Okay,
actually,
okay.
Can I tell the serial killer story since we're bringing this up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go for it.
All right,
Okay,
make
so
it
in
like
high
a
school-
creepy.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. But in high school, there were the 3 ladies that I knew. One of them was my girlfriend. And before second period class, one of them approaches me and says, "Hey, do you think you're more likely to kill people or kill yourself?" And it's 10. Yeah, right. It's 10 o'clock in the fucking morning, and I'm being approached with this, and I say, I don't know, myself, I guess. And she's like, "Oh, huh," because you kind of look like a serial killer to me. And then walk back to her desk.
Seems like a fucking cunt, bro.
Oh,
Fuck
God.
that bitch.
It doesn't help that I have like these dark rings under my eyes from like lack of sleep too.
Oof.
Unfortunate.
Ow.
I'm
Wow.
fucking tired all the time.
Papa.
I don't really read gag mangas. My dad's unpacking grocery. That's fun. Yes, mangas. Okay.
Oh,
I give it. Okay. Says yeah, it's
It's
pretty
like
loud
when
back
fucking
there right now.
Brock, every seasonal, when we're talking about GB, he says samurais and ninjas, and I want to fucking strangle him.
Main
Samurai
guns.
ninja, just fucking, just.
Okay. I don't really read them, but like I
Yeah,
just
I
give
know
it 5.
Poro
I'd give it 5 out of 10. I can't really like say my opinion on this manga, to be honest.
Okay, fucking, I just called Jacob. Fuck. No, I just
Yes.
called fucking
Oh my fucking God, I'm gonna kill you. Whenever you're talking, whenever you say about like ninjas and samurais, were you comparing? Did you said my name instead of Apocrypha or
No,
generic?
you say that.
Uh,
You say that. You say
yeah,
that
you
all
say
the
that.
fucking time. You say samurais and ninjas, and I'm like, oh wait, isn't ninja
There's
just
one
not
samurai.
ninjas?
No, it wasn't me. I never said that.
You do. I'm right now. I'm gonna edit this episode. I'm gonna edit in just a bunch of clips of you fucking saying samurais and ninjas. I'm gonna re-listen to every episode. I'm just gonna edit it in. Okay. Remember after.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 3 out of 10. It's the worst thing in Jump. But it really gets it started, and just want it to end. Please.
Kage Pro,
Okay.
if your audio isn't fucked.
Okay. Final thoughts. 3 out of
God
10.
damn.
Chris is epic. But that's
Chris is
pretty much
epic.
it. go read Nanbaka instead. Nanbaka's in color, and it's much more entertaining. That is
Someone
all.
read this out, please.
I was about to say, if you don't read that, yeah, I was gonna say, if you don't read the fucking what's in parentheses, that's sad.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the
Drog,
vital part of the message.
Drog, go.
A lot of what y'all have to say, I think too. I don't think it's funny. It just wasn't entertaining, and even whenever it was, wasn't painfully unfunny. It was boring, and I almost fell asleep one time, and I tried to wake up. I text that in the chat up on.
Well, that might have been because you spent all night fucking editing some cancer that we really made. But yeah.
Yeah.
I give it if it wasn't for Chris and his beautiful body and stuff, I would give it I would give it a 1, but I'm gonna give it like a 3.
Oh.
Or
Sushi.
All right, my turn. So I don't have anything to add that I haven't already said. You're better off spending time getting into another comedy. There is fucking Kaguya-sama, School Rumble, Baka Test, Grand Blue, Sket Dance, Gintama. The options are endless. If you have one of those shows to check out or manga to check out, just watch or read them and skip out on this. My score for this would be a 3 to a 4 out of 10.
My graphics said, want something actually funny? Let's hear it. Let's hear it, my graphics.
No. This was.
Do you got another zinger for us?
We're saying it's
Zinger, let's go.
Continue with your-
Let's go.
Zinger.
Go.
Go Bazinga.
It's not what we
Take your time.
You shouldn't have said
He
that.
doesn't want to do it. Let me speak. Jesus.
No, shut
No,
the
get
fuck up.
cut.
You don't deserve
Sit in the closet, boy.
anything.
I hate you guys.
My graphics, give us a zinger. You said you had something actually funny.
Yeah, I meant for a manga, but all right.
Oh. Okay, it counts. Whatever, just say it.
Well, what'd you call a pig that does karate?
Uh,
A pork
Willy
chop.
Wonka.
Don't make me do this ever again. I'm gonna go to Russia.
Hey, hold on. No, I made you do it this time.
anyway.
Generic MC.
All right, 3 out of 10. It's nothing but a disappointment to me. That's all I gotta say.
Vindy.
I used to hate this manga a lot more. I've simmered down on it quite a bit. I still think it's bad, but I would actually say that, not counting the newest arc, I think it has been getting, if not better, either I have Stockholm Syndrome or it's getting more tolerable. But either way, I've gone from hating it with a passion to literally just not caring, and every time I read it, I feel like my soul leaves my body and then comes back instead of I get angry, so it's like a 4.
Oh, you had
Okay.
the experience I did watching the end of Paradise.
Wait, we can't. Okay, I don't have the full big board of anime cringe. I don't remember
Can
any
we
of
make it a
'cause I forgot to
crucifix?
write it down. So instead of doing the big board of anime, we'll do that next time. We'll rank it if I remember. Instead of doing the big board of anime cringe, Vindy, can
Yes.
you please read out this to end off the episode? Just maybe a segment.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Vindy,
god.
read this out.
Read it.
One Piece is
What?
sushi awesome. One Piece
Read
overall
this
rating
fucking
4.
trash.
Shut up.
Are we
Shut up.
setting
One
up
Piece
the
is
art?
widely
Vindy,
considered to
start
be
over.
among the most
Vindy,
popular and high.
Start over. Vindy, start over.
By
Go.
Sushi, it's awesome. Overall rating 4.
Okay.
One Piece is widely considered to be among the most popular and highly rated anime and manga series of all time, and it takes no genius to figure out why. The premise is simple enough to follow, the character motivations are simple yet intertwined with one another, and the setting is absolutely epic, with new locations always popping up and new adventures to be seen, both by the viewer/reader and characters alike. Couple that with a cast of eccentric characters, and you get a recipe that's pretty damn easy to like for most people. Not me, though. Oh, no, I wouldn't be here if that were all One Piece was claimed to be good for. In recent memory, One Piece has gained a reputation for being a shonen that for some reason manages to avoid the pitfalls of Naruto and Bleach. The story keeps moving forward at a steady pace. There's limited filler in both the anime and manga. The background art is gorgeous, and there's a clear plan to move the series forward. Oh, no. What annoys me so ever... Do I have to keep reading it from here?
Yes.
Is that people have gotten so far as to compare it with shows that are clearly more competent, like Hunter x Hunter or FMA.
Uh-oh.
I'm here to provide you, dear reader, with evidence that simply isn't true. I'm not reading any more of this.
Keep going, Vindy, you have to do it. Vindy, please.
Story-wise, One Piece isn't something to write home about. The premise is basic enough. Main character wants to find the One Piece, a treasure that all pirates aspire to find along a long and dangerous path filled with twists and turns known as the Grand Line. Along the way, he finds various comrades who have various goals of their own but end up supporting him in his goal. And this is where One Piece starts to fall apart. The first half of the manga plays something along these lines. Luffy, name of the main character in case you don't know, and his crew travel to some mildly interesting / bizarre location. They find insert obviously new crew member. Luffy demands, without a shred of charisma or consideration to back it up, for them to join his crew. Kind of the point, don't you think? The obviously new crew member always says no. Maybe it's on purpose. Luffy discovers that obviously new party member's tragic past. Luffy beats down insert random bad guy here, who's either a source of trouble for the obviously new party member or hurts someone dear to obviously new party member. Luffy does something stupid that for some reason is reminiscent to something for obviously new party member, which actually ends up working. Obviously new party member says his farewell to the location, having made peace with everything, and Luffy joins crew. I'm not reading any more than that.
No, Vinny, okay, 2 more paragraphs or something like that. 2 more paragraphs. You have to keep going, please. It gets worse. It gets even worse.
There are mild alterations to this formula, which you know would end up being the better arcs in the series, but generally it is the formula One Piece follows. And guess what? It gets tiresome and irritating really quickly. Everything comes off as over-dramatized, mundane, and absolutely obnoxious. Everything you heard about Luffy being funny is a massive lie with few exceptions. He merely acts stupid or does stupid things. Rants about how much he loves to eat meat, and how much he wants to protect his friends. There is no super mega complex character. He's not charming, and he's ridiculously protective of
Plot armor. Next, come on. Keep moving.
I thought you said it was done.
Sushi. Do you agree with this today?
I agree with most of it, yeah.
Okay, Vindy, keep going.
I obviously wrote this like 4 years ago. So, but do I understand why I wrote this? Yeah, I do. No, it's garbage.
Okay, sorry. When you said that I thought you were about to say that like you still think that this is the way the arcs play out, and that like
no, obviously not. Because after the time skip, there is obviously an attempt at having an overarching story. Not to say that one didn't exist before the time skip, but that now that's the center of the narrative.
Well, but even in pre-time skip, your way the arcs go isn't right. Like, sure, like that happens, but there's a reason for that.
The character interactions in One Piece are too fucking basic for me to give a shit about it.
Okay, I'm just saying that like the Luffy asks the person without charisma or consideration. Like that's kind of the point, right? Like that.
Yeah, that's not why I read fiction. I read fiction because I fucking want to see characters interact with each other. I want to see fiction because I want to see characters empathize with each other. Luffy does not empathize with the character. Luffy does not have does not have the social insight to understand these characters. He doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He actually does, though.
He really does.
He doesn't start off empathizing, but once he learns about that person, he always empathizes with them. That's why if you look at,
he sympathizes, not empathizes.
No, he does empathize. He constantly looks at things from their level. What is the entirety of Water 7 if not Luffy empathizing? He does so much empathizing with the people around him in Water 7 between Nico Robin and Usopp.
And you guys think I'm stupid.
Shut up, Janelle.
I can't believe
Vindy.
From Agravity to
so Vindy and anyone who for some reason is still listening to this, in case you don't know, Dot wants to do an EWB on my old One Piece review. So get hype.
I'm not pog champing.
That's not happening. Here's all I'm saying is...
Oh my god.
No, not right now.
The heart is the fucking cringiest fucking piece of dialogue in fucking Shonen Jump history. Anyone who thinks this is good dialogue, what is wrong with you? What the actual hell is wrong with you? Just because it's thematically consistent doesn't magically mean that it's good dialogue. Fucking freaking... what was it? I had an example in mind.
It's good technical manga making, though.
Fucking what? What's up?
It's good technical manga making.
I mean, Your mileage may vary, but there's like a million garbage ass movies that are among the worst movies ever written that have clear thematic fucking points. Just because something has a clear thematic point doesn't magically make it good. You have to have good fucking writing to make it good. Fuck Bleach, fuck Naruto, fuck
But it
One
has
Piece.
Buggy
All of
the
them can die in a
Clown.
fire. Anyway.
What? Yo, you don't think Bleach and Naruto is good? No, I'm out
No,
of here.
they're garbage. They're
Dude, it
garbage.
has
Oh.
Buggy the Clown.
Well,
All
Who
of them
the
are garbage.
fuck is this
can't-
guy?
I
I
can't
don't know you.
I ruined this
Naruto.
episode, and I did this on purpose. I knew this.
dude, I didn't even talk.
I fucking hate you, Shushi.
I
I
knew
can
this would happen.
believe me when I say this, generic MC. I can live with that. I really can. Now I do want to point out that just because someone can enjoy Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece for their thematic value or character likability, but they're just not for me. These are my opinions. I back them up with what I think is correct. It doesn't magically mean that would be true for everyone. That's all.
Unfortunate.
You're definitely doing
Okay.
an EWB on this guy.
Yeah, I-
EWB
We're-
sushi.
No, it's
Just
a guarantee.
fucking EWB is life. Just
EWB
everything about
two.
it.
EWB two.
Damn, Mega Rapix just hit him with the hardest thing I've ever seen, and I think you should end the episode instead of
Oh
continuing
my
to argue
god!
about shitty manga.
Does he actually fucking have Kogias in his favorites? I swear to God.
Tell
Yes, I
me
do.
about your
It's my favorite
childhood.
anime.
Let's go!
Alright,
Let's
let's
go.
let's just end the episode here. You know what?
More needs to be said.
Check it. Check it. Oh, I think I got the fever. I'm heated. Pumping up the meter. Roll me a ringleader, mad party bleeder. Make this with a storm. Lead after lead after leader. Hey, can you dig it? I come alive, y'all give me what you got. Back up, come stick up. Pump your fist up. You took the shot of the buckshot. So bust slip up.